Come Play With Me is a 1968 Italian drama film directed by Salvatore Samperi. It was listed to compete at the 1968 Cannes Film Festival. Elvis is a young man who thinks he is paralyzed. He received treatment for his psychological problem. His father leaves Elvis for a few days in the care of Aunt Leah, who is Elvis' mother's sister. Elvis becomes infatuated with his aunt and Leah also reciprocates gradually. Leah breaks off her relationship with Stefano to be with her nephew. Channel Viaggio Celebrity presents top 10 movies like Come Play With Me. Number 10. Provocation, 1995. The countryside location, an old inn made of quarried stone, add the right rustic atmosphere in this familiar tale of an innkeeper's wife who fancies a visiting businessman while her husband Gianni goes after his cousin, set to live at the house after the recent death of her papa. An idiot nephew indulges in some voyeurism by sneaking around the house without his shoes and peering through floor crack at everyone else's fun time. Number 9. The House That Vanished, 1973. A beginner fashion model Valerie, in search of adventures, agreed to accompany Terry, her boyfriend, on his expedition to some empty mansion, hoping to make some money there. Suddenly, the girl discovers that they are not alone in the house, but the owners are not going to notice the uninvited guest while making love passionately. That's just ending their caresses that a man brutally kills his partner. In horror, she runs out of the house, losing a thief friend on the way. When the fear passed the next morning, she decided to return to the place of the strange incident, but there was no mansion there. But her search leads to an acquaintance with Paul, a mysterious young man, passionate about classical music and the secular manners of the last century. Number 8. Tranquille, donne, campagna, 1980. Italy, late 30s. The regime of Mussolini sent Italian volunteers to the civil war in Spain. On the background of a peaceful village landscape, behind the walls of the old farmhouses, Florina creating its own dictatorship. Everything is run by her brother Guido, who requires unquestioning obedience to his will. He believes all women around is his property, and as a rooster in the hen house, he constantly confirms this action. His young son Alberto is his problem. All is not similar to the father. He dreams of breaking free from the dictatorial care. When his beautiful cousin Gloria comes to the estate, novel flashes between young people. Guido learns that his sister is going to bequeath her estate to his unworthy son. This heralds a tragic ending. Number 7. Miniskirt Love, 1967. Billy is a teenager and enthusiastic photo hobbyist who takes pictures of his mother carrying on with another man, but is too naive to realize his mother is engaging in more than innocent horseplay. When he innocently shows his picture to Daddy, he unwittingly starts a melee that ends in Daddy's accidental death and Mommy's mental collapse and confinement in a hospital. Enter Aunt Janet, Daddy's sister, to take care of Billy, supposedly a frigid woman who can't stand men. Aunt Janet is nevertheless loving and affectionate with young Billy, and when she sees the fatal snapshot, she even takes their relationship to the next level. But can their happy life together survive the return from hospital of a still disturbed mommy? Number 6. Una storia ambigua, 1986. Countess Anna, a rich and provocative noblewoman, marries Romano, an important fascist who is very loyal to the party. Sadly, his love performance is found very lacking by the Countess, and so frustrated she decides to look elsewhere for satisfaction and ends up setting her sight on Stefano, Romano's now an inexperienced young nephew undergraduate who has recently arrived from the province to get help from his uncle for a good job. She involves the boy in an ambiguous game, and once satisfied with her craving gives him the shake. He does not even have time to recover that his cousin Marisa confesses his love. He is so upset that he immediately returns home. Number 5. Before the Revolution, 1964. The study of a youth on the age of adulthood and his aunt 10 years older. Fabrizio is passionate, idealistic, influenced by Caesar, a teacher and Marxist, engaged to the lovely but bourgeois Clelia, and stung by the drowning of his mercurial friend Agostino, a possible suicide. Gina is herself a bundle of nervous energy, alternately sweet, seductive, poetic, distracted, and unhinged. They begin a love affair after Agostino's funeral. Then Gina confuses Fabrizio by sleeping with a stranger. Their visit to Caesar and then to Puck, one of Gina's older friends. A landowner losing his hand dramatized contrasting image of Italy's future. Their own futures are bleak. It's all fairly aimless, but he is beautifully shot and the script is quite fine. Adriana Asti seems natural as the fragile aunt, and Bertolucci makes the most of her. There are moments when she is nudging Audrey Hepburn. Number 4. The Music, 1972. Reiko reports to a psychiatrist with a special complaint. She no longer hears music. When people talk on radio or TV, they hear everything fine but not music. However, the longer the session lasts, the more we learn about what is really going on with her. Her real problem is frigidity. She doesn't feel anything with her boyfriend Ryuki in bed. Her bizarre frustration appear to be very deeply rooted. She has love complexes she developed in her childhood. There is a degree of campness involved in the music with its heavy atmosphere and overtly theatrical melodrama. Masumura films with a perverse eye animating Reiko's recollection like dreams complete with bizarre perspectives and symbolic imagery to complete his Freudian approach to filmmaking. Number 3. With Aunt, It's Not a Sin, 1980. Gloria Lamborghini is forced to return to her native Italy from America, where she lives to resolve an issue related to the sale of land. In the village of Sicily where he arrives reside his sister-in-law Antonia, who was left a widow, and her nephew, son of Antonio Saro. Determined woman, intriguing and with wide-ranging love taste, Gloria will be able to console and settle the afflicted sister-in-law by combining her a marriage with the local pharmacist. Then he will focus his attention on the young Saro, who has yet to learn to know and taste the joys of love. Number 2. Black Snow, 1965. Black Snow tells the tale of a disturbed young man who, after spying on his mother with a black serviceman, finds himself unable to attain love arousal unless fondling a loaded gun. Later that night, he murdered the GI before running amok through the building and finally slaying his mother's sister. Tetsuji Takechi, no stranger to Mondo Exploito, was an essential figure of 1940s pink cinema. With Daydream 1964, he made the first mainstream Pinku Eiga, but with Black Snow, he really ruffled feathers. In 1965, the release of Black Snow saw Takechi arrested on obscenity charges. His arrest led to a backlash from Japanese intellectuals and fellow filmmakers who fought on Takechi's behalf. Number 1. That Splendid November, 1969. After the death of his father, 17-year-old Nino is finding adolescence a traumatic and lonely ordeal. One autumn, during a holiday on the slope of Mount Etna, he finds he is strongly attracted toward his young aunt Settina. Although married, she has no children of her own, and his interest in her awakened her maternal instinct. An intimacy developed between them, and his liking for her turns into an all-consuming desire. When he discovers that she is pursuing a secret affair with another man, Sasha, he is overwhelmed by jealousy and fails to comprehend her infidelity. None of the characters are likable, and some of them strike one as definitely grotesque. Still, Bolognini shows great understanding of his chosen subject, and Yubian has many qualities. Interesting scenes that comment quite satisfactorily on this particular social milieu. Haunting Sicilian location, excellent cinematography, and a melancholy undercurrent that stays impressed on one's mind.